So, what happens when you get new additions and you don't quarantine? Find out right now. What's up, guys? This is an update on my Frontosa tank. Uh, it's not purely a Frontosa tank anymore. I added a couple Peacock cichlids in here. Not only peacocks, but also this yellow blaze hap. Okay, so let's talk about that. Before I added them, I quarantined the peacock cichlids for about 3 weeks. I want to say a little over 3 weeks. They seemed perfectly healthy. I had no issues with them. I put in a little bit of meds to try to make sure they were healthy when they came in, and I put them in. Okay, after I quarantined them, put them in, I had this yellow blaze in quarantine. Okay, so I was quarantining him at the time also. The peacocks got about 3 weeks in quarantine, and that yellow blaze got about 2.5 weeks. Once I put him in, everything went down the drain. I got a Frontosa, which I believe it's this one right here, that developed a case of Popeye. As you can see, it's a lot better. You really can't tell unless I point it out, I think. But yeah, he had a case of Popeye. Everything looks like everything shows that he's healing back up. So what happened? First, there was a bacteria introduced in here. I want to say disease was also introduced. I got too eager to put these guys in there. Way too eager. I couldn't wait long enough. I mean, there was no reason for me to put them in sooner, but I just couldn't wait. I put them in. I started seeing Popeye on my fish. Like I said, I think you can maybe still see it a little bit on them. That one in the bottom. But for the most part, he's alright. So what did I do? At that time, I had purchased another peacock, which he's off in the back right now. I had purchased this peacock, and I had him in the quarantine tank. I had to put the Frontosa in there with him to quarantine because I wanted to have him away from everyone. I knew the Frontosa had a size advantage on him. I knew the Frontosa was going to run the quarantine tank. I knew there wasn't going to be any additional stress to him. So I put him in there with him, and I medicated. I medicated him with erythromycin, with API's erythromycin. Medicated them for about 5-6 doses. Can't remember exactly, but pretty much until I saw that the Frontosa's eye swelling had come down quite a bit. I did that, and then I decided to put a little bit of preventative meds in there. I put some general cure in that same quarantine tank, and then I introduced them back over here. During that time, I also put meds in this display tank. Why did I do that? Because during that time, this guy was starting to show signs of bloat. He was starting to get a little bit of fungus on him. And I thought might as well treat the whole tank if there's something going on in there. I treated the whole tank with 2 doses, and the fish that was physically, or that you could literally see that was sick, which was this guy, I took him out and I put him in with the Frontosa and gave him a couple extra doses also of erythromycin and general cure. As you can see, they all seem to be just fine now, except for this guy in the back, this guy right here. since he's the newest one, he's been getting picked on a little bit, but nothing too bad. But when I did put him in here, he also showed immediate signs of fungus, which is something that I have to take care of. How have I been trying to take care of this? I've been doing water changes. I added salt, and also I've been using Icex. I've used 3 treatments of Icex, and I've been adding salt. I added about 1 tablespoon of salt for every 3 gallons in this tank already, and that's what's sitting inside the tank right now. Keep in mind, I also have a lemon bristlenose pleco in here. He's hiding out right now. I can't find him. Oh, there he is. I have a lemon bristlenose pleco, and he doesn't seem to be responding bad. I haven't seen anything that would tell me that he's too uncomfortable in this situation. So at that dose, I'm comfortable keeping them for a while until this fungus goes away. Now, what happened? I put them in too soon. I introduced disease. I introduced bacteria into this tank. And instead of having to treat a small tank with meds, I had to spend a lot of money to get meds into this tank. I've been treating with Icex, salt. I put erythromycin in. I threw 1 round of general cure in here. From what I've seen, they look like they're flashing quite a bit, so I think I might have introduced another type of external parasite, maybe a fluke in here, and that's something I'm going to have to treat also. The good thing is that with the salt treatment so far, I see this guy starting to clear up, slowly clearing up. If you can see, his fins aren't perfect. His fins are kind of tore too, but everything seems to be working out. I have video footage of the quarantine, which I'll post after this video. I'll show you guys too what his eye looked like. I didn't get a good clip of him because I didn't want to stress him too much. I should have got it when he was still in this main display tank, but I got a little clip of him pretty much right when I moved him into the quarantine. I got a clip of him a couple days after, and another clip of him when he was starting to look a little better. I'll add those right now to the end of the video so you guys can see pretty much what a Frontosa with Popeye starts to look like. Something you don't want to go through, and it's something that honestly could have easily been avoided. He seems to be recovering. He's still stressed a little bit, but as you can see, his eyes are starting to look normal. He doesn't look too out of place, and I mean, he's looking healthy again. They're eating. With all this being said, I have reason to believe that the newest peacock that I added also brought in an internal parasite. What does that mean? That means that I'm going to have to treat this whole tank for an internal parasite. Why? Because if one of them has it, all it takes is one of them to eat the other one's poop, and just like that it spreads. So pretty much the guy that's been sick, that's sick right now, that's got the fungus on him, he's hiding right now, I can't see him, but the guy with the fungus on him, he also showed signs of internal parasites, which I quarantined him also for a little over 2 weeks, which once again could have been avoided had I waited at least a month to quarantine him. Now it's something I have to deal with. If you want to know, in the quarantine tank, like I said, I used around 6 doses of of erythromycin. I've kept the water super clean. Currently, right now, I'm doing water changes every 2 days, keeping their water super clean. Everything seems to be getting better between the Icex and the salt that's currently in there. All the fungus that was on this guy seems to be going away. He had some mouth fungus on him. He also had a little bit of fungus growing on the side. But all that seems to be healing up. The salt's doing its job. It's not fast. It's not by any means cure overnight. It's been about 5-6 days, and I can tell the difference. It's a slow progress, but the progress is being made. Like I said, all this could have been avoided with a proper quarantine. I mean, luckily I caught it early enough to where it didn't kill any of my fish, but easily could have. I'll show you guys the rest of the quarantine and what the Popeye looked like. I wasn't able to get a good angle of his eye. You can kind of see it right here, especially off the reflection. I zoomed in a little bit and you can see his eyes popping out. I didn't really want to put him out there because he was already stressed and that's just going to add to it. But you can see there's definitely something wrong.
The COVID-19 pandemic has upended the 2020 presidential race. As Caitlin Huey-Burns reports, candidates are finding some new ways to engage voters at home.
Thank you for watching. I'll post an update soon, and I'll show you guys how these guys are doing and more in depth what I've been doing. Like I said, adding salt, Icex, and water changes. But I'll show you guys more on it in a couple days, and I'll keep you guys updated on the fungus and how it works out. This is what these guys look like in the quarantine tank when they first came in. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.